I'm going to talk about why goals that involve creating process generally don't rise up to being a wildly important goal. And I'm going to do this by talking about the three frogs sitting on the log riddle. I love to do this to little kids. And it goes something like this. 3 frogs are sitting on a log. 2 decide to jump off. How many are left? Now the little kid who can do math will say, 1 frog. And you say, no. So then they're thinking and they're like, oh yeah, you're an adult and you're talking to me. So it's got to be about peer pressure and choosing the right friends. And so if 2 decided to jump off the log, that means all 3 did because the other one just went along for the ride. And while that's a cool lesson, that's not what this riddle is about. So when you ask if there are 3 frogs sitting on a log and 2 decide to jump off, there are still 3 frogs sitting on the log. And it takes a while for our minds to wrap around how this is the case. And it just comes down to the fact that making a decision is not action. It's part of the process. It's important. With processes or developing processes as a goal, those might be important to move you closer to something that is wildly important. But just by themselves, if we go with the definition that a wildly important goal is something that if nothing else changed in the company, you couldn't do anything else, that if you changed that one thing would make the biggest difference to your company, then process does not make that, does not fit that criteria. It becomes more like 2 frogs deciding to jump off the log and never getting around to it. So if you weren't allowed to actually implement the new processes, it wouldn't change anything. So as you're developing your wigs, keep in mind that process type goals that are to create process, it's difficult to have that rise to the level of wildly important. Hope this helps.